For all the latest reviews, interviews, and everything entertainment in Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, and Telugu, subscribe to Film Companion South now.
Hello and welcome to Film Companion South. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Vishal Venkat's Sila Nerangalil Sila Manidhargal, which stars many people, but the top line stars are Manikandan, Ashok Selvan, and a wonderful Nassar. In the first few scenes that we see in Nassar, in one of them, he meets a bunch of old men that are complaining about their children, that their children keeps yelling at them, or there are fights, or this constant things. And one of the things that Nassar says is, listen, put yourself in their shoes. They may have work tensions, they may have other things. The scene is not just there as a piece of worldly advice or to establish the fact that Nassar is a very nice guy, which he is, but it's also there to establish the fact that empathy is a running subtext in the movie. Ashok Selvan keeps shouting at his father, Manikandan keeps shouting at his mother, a third character looks at his father with contempt, K.S.Ravikumar plays his character, and everyone seems angry all the time. Now, what's the connection? The connection is that only when we put ourselves in their shoes, only when we try to understand their point of view, only when we have empathy towards them, will we be able to truly forge a connection with people. Now, to take this point further, I'll talk about the scenes between Nassar and Ashok Selvan, who plays his son. Now, Ashok Selvan is caring, he's compassionate, he really likes his father, he really loves his father, but he does not want his father to stress himself out. And the way this comes out, this concern, is by constantly yelling at his father. Why are you doing this at your age? Why can't you just relax? This is what he keeps saying. And what he doesn't do is try to understand why Nassar is doing that at his age, why he's not relaxing. In other words, instead of empathizing with Nassar, his father, he's trying to impose his views, Ashok Selvan's views, on his father. That is what is wrong here. And when Ashok Selvan realizes the value of this empathy, it's one of the film's most powerful scenes. I've never seen Ashok Selvan give so much of himself out there on screen. It's easily one of his best performances. Now, Sila Nerangalil Sila Manidhargal follows 4 sets of people dealing with an accidental death. The film is a kind of a butterfly effect kind of scenario, as in, if A had not done this, then B would not have had to do this, and C would not have had died. In other words, this is an existential story where anyone could be the murderer because of the way they behave, not because they actually had a knife and killed somebody or something like that, but sometimes psychological effects lead into other things. This is another film where Manikandan really shines as an actor. He has such an honest face, you really see into his soul, and his angst here is so palpable that you feel like you can touch it. Every time Nassar's on screen, or every time Ashok Selvan's on screen, or every time Manikandan's on screen, the scenes are so powerful because the actors themselves are doing a good job and the writing is also fairly decent. But a story this ambitious needed a more ambitious screenplay. For example, in the very first scene between Nassar and Ashok Selvan, we get to know almost all the details around the family. It's almost like in the old P. Bhim Singh movies where you would have one scene and you'll say, so that we realize everything, all the dynamics that play in that one scene itself. But despite that, as I said earlier, the Ashok Selvan track and the Manikandan track really work. Reyya does a really nice job as Ashok Selvan's fiancée. In these 2 tracks, we feel the tensions felt by the characters, but the other tracks don't work at all because the actors are not up to the mark and the writing is not up to the mark. One of these tracks involves a man going to the US, another one involves a new age actor. The performances, the writing, the situations, everything feels ultra simplistic. We don't feel anything for them the way we feel for the Ashok Selvan or the Manikandan characters and those tracks. This is a very basic film in terms of form, but it's just that the subject is so complex. It's about anger, it's about remorse, it's about acceptance, it's about guilt, and weaving all this together needed much deeper writing. On the whole, I found it kind of watchable, but then some scenes really work powerfully, but as a whole, the movie doesn't stand too well. So that's it for Sila Nerangalil Sila Manidhargal. If you like this video, do subscribe to Film Companion South, and I'll see you soon at the movies.